Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Howard Pinsky, Senior XD Evangelist at Adobe, and welcome to the XD Daily Challenge, day number 4. And I have been blown away looking at all of your entries this morning, even some of the entries that trickled in from yesterday and the day before. Amazing stuff. If you're brand new here, welcome. Definitely let me know if you are joining us live on Behance in the chat where you're tuning in from. Today, I'm tuning in and streaming from Los Angeles, and then next week, I'll be in San Francisco. Better be sunny. Last week, it was so rainy and disgusting. And good morning to Farnoosh and Kevin. Got to give a baby shark to Kevin over here. And Malcolm and Bander and Ryan and Raphael. So many familiar faces. I saw Teresa in there, and Anel, and DJ Paco is in the house, and Dorina and Carrie, and so many people tuning in from all over the world. I love hosting these things and connecting with all of you great people. So what are we doing today? Well, today's Friday, so we're going to leave you with something a little bit more challenging, a little bit more in-depth for the weekend. And I'm going to keep it a little bit basic on my end, just so I don't give you too much, but we're going to challenge you. It's going to be pretty crazy. Marissa went all out with this one. So let me hop over to my screen. Here we go, and here is the XD Daily Creative Challenge landing page, behance.net/Daily Creative Challenge. Pretty simple. If you haven't yet, hit that big blue register button at the top so you're notified when we release new challenges every single morning. Challenge comes out at 8 a.m. on the dot. And how does this thing work? Well, every day you're going to receive a challenge, except Saturday and Sunday, but you can definitely catch up and work on some stuff on Saturday and Sunday if you really want to. But I'm not going to be here at 8:30 in the morning on Saturday. Not a chance. Number 2, I will be here at 8:30 every morning except Saturday and Sunday. And then next Friday, when we're wrapping things up, it's going to be an extra long stream. We're going to review a bunch of the challenges that came over the last 2 weeks. It's going to be fun times. And number 3, you're going to use Adobe XD. Don't worry about Photoshop. You're going to use XD to design and prototype whatever the theme is for that day. You're going to share it on Behance using the keyword XD Daily Challenge, and I'll show you why that's so important in a second. And then finally, you're going to, complete all the challenges by February 1st, but don't worry if you don't complete them all by February 1st. This is really just for you to build up your skills and, learn something new possibly. You can watch a little kickoff down here, and then next steps, grab XD completely for free down here and join our Slack community. That's a fun one. So let me hop over to Slack for a second. And Behance just broke on me. That's very sad. Look at that little sad face. Hop over here. Here is Behance, and we have a ton of different channels. We have an introductions channel where you can hop in there, talk about who you are, where you're from, what you do for a living. We have people from Sri Lanka and Chicago. A lot of different cool places. If you have any questions, you can ask them. There's announcements, so if you missed the announcement for the challenge through Creative Cloud or you haven't checked Behance yet, there it is, smack in the middle. So what's today's challenge? And as Ash said, today's challenge definitely is interesting. Today's challenge is to design a color by number mobile app. Now, before we do that, I want to very quickly go over some of the entries that came in from yesterday. Again, really crazy stuff. I had a hard time narrowing it down. I usually do like 3 to 5, but there were just so many good ones, I had to throw in a few extras. So let's go through some of these. This one actually came in on Twitter. I didn't see this one on Behance, but it was really neat. Agnes put together this app that looks like it actually works in her room, which is cool. And I'm checking Twitter all day, so if you want to tweet at me your stuff, at Pinsky, I'm over there. Not Pink Sky, but Pinsky. So that was cool, really cool, Agnes. I love the way that kind of lights up the room in the background. Next one is from Jaren, who is one of our regulars on Slack. Put together this really cool in-depth with a lot of different sliders, a lot of different buttons. And if you are participating in these challenges, definitely let me know in the chat while we're kind of looking through some of these. And use a little bit of an animated mask to control the brightness, the percentage over there. Really in-depth, really cool stuff. Next one is from Alina, and she designed this really nice, one thing that stood out to me is this mock-up down here, how it was presented. I thought this was kind of neat. It was a nice little touch. I love when the Behance profile looks the Behance post just looks really cool. And I thought this was really nice. Next, we have Nadia, who also put together this really interesting design using also an animated mask. As she increases the brightness, the light bulb starts to fill up a little bit. I thought that was a neat little touch. And then a few different screens down here at the bottom. Next, we have Daniel, who also submitted yesterday. He was the one who submitted the soccer, or I guess football in most parts of the world. And I thought this was cool. I believe he used Design App to put this together. And this is just so in-depth and so above what I even showed yesterday on stream. And that's what I really like about these challenges, is you kind of take what I kick off on in the mornings and just go crazy with this stuff. And Daniel, again, really nice job. Next, we have Giselle, who also put together this really cool looking mock-up. I believe, again, this was in Design Camera. A lot of people are starting to use Design Camera. If you haven't tried that out yet, it's not made by Adobe. It's just something by a random developer, Morton Just, I believe his name is. Really cool application, a lot of potential, still in beta, but I think it's designcamera.app. It allows you to create things like this. I thought this was really nice. Again, very in-depth, very different from what I showed in the morning. And Louise is asking, how can you get access to those Behance posts? If you go to Behance, you go to search and look up the keyword XD Daily Challenge. You'll see hundreds and hundreds of them over the last few days. It's really cool. And then we have Ogina, or Ogini. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing that name. Again, really nice stuff. I love how it transitions between the different rooms based on what light is on. Again, more nice interactions. I love this. And then some screens down here at the bottom. And these ones don't completely fall in with the theme, but I think they were kind of fun. So this is from Xenia, who was in the chat yesterday. I'm not sure if she's here, but it's a cool little animated toggle switch between night and day. I thought that was fun. And then finally from Alyssa, who kind of took it in a weird direction, but it kind of works. These are some Danish hot dogs, and using toggle switches to add condiments and super toasty buns. I mean, why not, right? I thought that was cool. So with all that being said, what is our challenge for today? Well, let me hop over to Adobe XD, and here is the amazing template that Marissa Blair has put together. Marissa, if you are here, thank you for all these amazing templates, and definitely download this template on behance.net/daily creative challenge. So our goal is to design and prototype a color by number mobile app. And again, I'm going to keep things a little bit basic today, this morning, because I really want to see, there's so much potential with this. I want to see where all of you go with it. And with the weekend coming up, some of you said you are going to be designing over the weekend. So now is a pretty good chance to really go crazy with something like this. So what we're going to start to do is we are going to design a very basic, let's say, gallery page, just to kind of kick things off. So I'm going to duplicate this artboard over and get rid of this flower. You know, I'm going to get rid of this one as well. We're going to use something different. I'm going to show you a cool trick in Adobe XD. But you can definitely use this flower if you kind of want to start off. I'm going to grab some of these elements that Marissa provided to us. Let's start with the title bar. We'll pop it over here, just pop it up top. Boop, right there. And we'll name this, let's say this is the home screen, or maybe this is the gallery screen. And this is going to be some basic stuff, but good stuff to know if you are designing in XD. I'm going to grab the navigation bar at the bottom, pop this over here, and move this down. And we're going to start adding some color. So this one, I'm going to double click to get to the rectangle. It's going to be just a little bit of a gray, not too much. And then these ones, this is going to be the gallery. So we'll do, what color should we make this? A nice pink, maybe? Kind of like an Adobe XD pink. And then maybe these ones, the non-active ones, we'll just drop the opacity a little bit, just like that. Great. Simple. Now I'm kind of liking that pink, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to double click on it, I'm going to access it, go to my assets panel down at the bottom, and press the plus button beside colors. That will allow me to save that color for future use, but I can always update it later, even if I use it multiple times throughout my document, and I'll show you that in a little bit. So once that's done, we're going to create a little bit of a gallery using repeat grids, which again, one of my super favorite features in Adobe XD. So I'm going to grab my rectangle tool, draw out a box. If I want it constrained to a square, I can simply hold down my shift key and do that. And I'm going to round the corners a little bit. So there's little handles on the inside of a square, and if I just drag these inwards, I can very easily round out those rectangles. And if I want to do that over in the properties, I can also adjust it here. I can also change just a few of the sides. So if I wanted, let's say, the top right corner to be not rounded, I can just put 0. And maybe I want this one to be not rounded. I can do that. Now, of course, I probably want them all rounded, so I'll leave it at that. All right, so we have one square. Now we need to create a repeat grid for a little bit of a gallery. So with this square active, I'm going to either press the repeat grid button at the top or Command and Control R. And that's going to give me these two little handles, one on the right, one at the bottom. And I can drag another square out this way. And let's go for 3 down. And make sure this is centered in the middle of my artboard. That looks pretty good right there. So now we basically have a gallery that we can put photos in. So what photos are we going to put in here? Well, let me hop over to Finder, and I have a few color by number style photos that we're going to throw in here. So let's go for the aliens, the fish, flowers, sea, lion, and we're going to add, we'll add the rhino for now, but we're actually going to replace one of those in a second. So I'm just going to grab all of these, drag them into Adobe XD onto any of these, boop, pop it in there, and then I can just double click on any of them to adjust the mask. So I may want to increase this one a little bit, bring this down. That looks pretty good. Maybe I'll adjust the rhino so we can see his awesome face. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right, so we have a little bit of a gallery, but we do want to replace one of them because we're going to, add the one that we're going to be working on. And we're not going to be working on any of these because I actually have, back in Finder, I have an Illustrator file. And as of a few updates ago, I believe actually at Adobe Max, you can now open Illustrator files directly in Adobe XD. So I'm going to simply just grab this Illustrator file that I grabbed from Adobe Stock, drag it down to my dock, and pop it open in Adobe XD. And here it is. And if you take a look at the Assets panel, or the Layers panel, I should say, we have all the groups that were in the Illustrator file and all the paths. So all those vector paths come over. It opened super quickly, and I can just grab some of this stuff. And let me actually grab the background here. I'm going to make that white. And I'm going to grab all of these paths. There's a lot of paths in this file. And make these white as well so we can just start fresh. So I'm going to copy this, all these paths. I'm going to actually group this. Whoops. I'm going to group it. There we go. Let's call this fish. Copy it and just go over here and paste it. And there we go. We now have this inside of Adobe XD or the other document. Now I think I missed the, there it is. I got to grab this one as well. Move this in here. And now we have our lines. So I'm going to copy that, go over here. And let's go for maybe this fish one at the top. So we're going to ungroup this repeat grid. Ungroup grid. And this fish one, we're actually going to just fill it with white. Because this is what we're going to use for our bigger fish. So I'm going to make this smaller. I'm holding down my shift key to turn off responsive resize, because if I left that on, all the lines are going to get weird and skewed and stuff. So I'm just going to hold shift, make this smaller, and just shrink it down so it fits. Of course, it doesn't match the aesthetic of all these other really cool ones, but it works, right? And that's all that matters. So there we go. We have our awesome fish Illustrator file we just brought into Adobe XD, opened it, no problem. And I kind of like these colors at the top. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to select the colors here. So we have the legend group here. I'm going to copy it. Actually, which one is, where are the colors hiding at? Are they hiding at all of these? They are. Okay. So I'm going to grab the whole legend group, copy it, paste it over in this document. And if I just want to add these colors to my assets panel, go back to my assets, right over here, press the plus button beside colors, And now I have all those colors inside of my assets panel that I can use very easily. And if I want to, I can just delete this group so I don't have to worry about that anymore. All right, so we have our gallery set up. Now we need the other artboard set up so we can actually start coloring this thing. So I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to duplicate this over to the right. And for all these guys, I'm just going to delete them because we don't need them anymore. We'll just have them fade out. We don't need that background, but we do need our lovely fish. And again, because it's a vector image, even though I scaled it down, I just have to scale it up and it looks wonderful. Perfect. Now for over here, we might want this icon to have the pink. So I'm going to go over my assets, press on pink, increase the opacity. And this one here, I believe that was black with an opacity of 30%. So I'm going to press 3 on my keyboard to do that very easily. Now we need some colors. So in this assets panel, or in the template, we have these numbers down here. I'm going to grab these, copy them, head back over here, and paste them. Pop them over here. And now we can start going through our numbers. So let's say I wanted this one to be that color. I can very easily do that. That's going to be that color. And I'm not going to worry too much about the numbers disappearing. I'll fix that in a minute. And I'll just go through and add our lovely colors. Let's say that one is gray. That looks pretty good. So there we go. And where did our numbers go? Our numbers disappeared. Oh, because it was in the group. I get it. Okay, that's fine. It happens. We don't need to worry about numbers. Let me get rid of that. Goodbye, number. Okay, so we have our colors here. I'm going to group these and put them in a group called colors. And I want to make sure, because I want this sliding up from the bottom. So I'm going to make sure to duplicate this one, making sure it's underneath at the bottom. Put it on the first artboard, drag it down to the bottom, and then just hide it behind our navigation bar. So that way, when we do go ahead and actually animate this thing from one artboard to the other, it kind of slides up from the bottom. So now that that's done, we can actually start making this work. And this is kind of where you're going to really get, it's where the challenge starts to happen. So second artboard, or third artboard, I should say. So let's say someone clicks on, let's say the red, right? Maybe this will get a little bit larger, like that. And maybe these ones, maybe the opacity will just drop down a little bit. So now that red is selected. And then maybe they will tap on one of the shapes within the fish, maybe this shape here. If I can grab it, and then I can grab my red and just paint that red. There we go. And maybe they'll, tap on another red color. Maybe this one over here, and that'll be red. And then the third one, let's say they tap on a different color. Let's say the orange. Make this a little bit larger. There we go. Bring it up to 100%. Make red a little bit smaller. And make that also, what this was 27%. All right, 27. There we go. And you can see how very quickly you can prototype these things simply by making a few little changes on your artboard. Let's say this one's going to be blue, or I guess orange, whatever color that is. You get the idea. So now let's actually go through and wire this thing up. So I'm going to hop into prototype mode. And we basically want someone to click on the fish, and it's going to go to the next artboard. So I'm going to select the fish, drag the little blue handle, this little guy right here, over to the right to the fish artboard. It's going to be a tap, and we'll do auto animate. We'll see what happens. And we'll have, let's say, a snap. So it kind of snaps right at the top, and duration of let's try 0.6 seconds, see what happens. So when we play this thing, press on the fish enlarges, and those colors at the bottom kind of slide up to the top. One more time. Whoop. Pretty cool stuff. So now next one, we basically want a user to be able to click on the red circle, drag this over. We're going to keep auto animate. Nothing's really going to animate, but we'll keep it anyway, see what happens. And when we press on that, it kind of enlarges a little bit, and now we're able to click on this section right here. We're going to go over here. And look how fast this is. We just grab this one, go over here. Now we're going to grab orange over here, grab this one over here. And that's all you have to do. Just select the different elements, and XD will retain the properties of the last wire, and you can just wire, 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 and it's super, super fast. And if we take a look at how things are looking, press play, fish enlarges, we can select red, click. What was the other one? I forgot what the other one was. Click, orange, and it was click. Was there another one? There might have been another one. Nope, that was it. So there we go. And we can keep doing this. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. I'm going to probably take part in this challenge when I'm not driving to San Francisco this weekend. So let's do a few more. Let's do green. Make this a little bit larger. 100% opacity. Make the orange a little bit smaller. This was 27%. And then let's say we want, what would be green? I don't know. This might be green. And boop. And again, using your assets, it's super simple. Yeah, Jude, your daughter might definitely like this. It's kind of fun. I'm having a great time with this. And this would be green. Again, hop into prototype mode. We're going to select green, drag it over here, select this one, drag it here. There we go. Bam. It's that simple. Click, green, click, click, and there we go. So now at this point, you might want to return back to your gallery screen. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to copy the gallery screen from over here, paste it over here.
Hi, Howard.
And Siri's talking to me. That was creepy. I'm going to break that link. And I want, let's say if someone presses on the gallery button, it goes over here. But this time, we want this fish. So I'm going to hop into design mode, grab the fish, copy it, paste it over here, make it nice and small so it matches this fish. Let's decrease the opacity just a little bit so we can see what we're working with. That looks pretty good. And in my layers panel, I'm going to delete the previous fish, enlarge it. There we go. And that's about it. So let's do this from the beginning. One more time, shall we? If I remember what we're actually going to be clicking on. So fish enlarges, the colors come up. I'm going to select red, do that. There was another one here somewhere. There we go. Let's select orange, green, and green. That looks pretty good. And then press the gallery to go back to the beginning. So there we go. All done. It's pretty cool. And with Auto Animate coming to the web very soon, you'll be able to publish this as a working prototype to XD. Go to share at the top, go to share for review, and then you'll be able to publish this, and then you can embed that on Behance. And once Auto Animate does come to the web, again, very soon, all you have to do is go in and update that public link, and it'll be working on the web. So anyone can just go there and click around. They'll have hotspot hints and a lot of really cool stuff. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what all of you do with this crazy challenge. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I can't wait on Monday morning just to look through all this stuff. I think some of you are going to go crazy with this. And there's so much potential for something like this. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'm going to be back Monday morning at 8:30, kicking off day number 5 and reviewing some of these amazing, crazy color by number mobile apps that you all create. And at 12 o'clock noon, Talon's going to be back on Adobe Live talking about XD. He's always designing and doing cool stuff with XD. And maybe he'll even give you some sneak peeks at something. I don't know. We'll see. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you all next time.